Hey guys, it is February 18th, Tuesday. The markets were closed yesterday because of a holiday. I'm officially 19 for 19, so since I started day trading again 19 trading days ago, all green every day, and I'll share my results, but also I got a lesson that I want to tell you guys that could help a lot of traders. I ran into this mistake myself, and it wasn't from day trading, it was from a swing trade that I actually put on last week from a Netflix, a put that would have actually paid out very, very well, but I'll tell you why I basically cut it early. And this is a problem that plagues a lot of traders, so it's a valuable lesson. And I haven't quite fully learned it myself, but I remind myself again that, well, you'll see. I'll talk about it at the end of the video, but I'll show you right now kind of like how the day started with a couple updates, and then let you know where I'm at right now at 3:20 p.m. Eastern time, about 40 minutes left. Almost everything's closed. Everything's pretty much flat. I'm going to end the day up pretty well overall, and that makes 19 for 19. And what I'm going to do with this channel for right now, I'm going to kind of vlog and share these trades and this streak, and eventually I'll have a red day and I'll talk about that and why. But let's see how long we could keep the streak going, man. So we're 19 for 19. And the reason I'm doing this, as the channel evolves and I give more of these lessons, though there's a great lesson at the end of this video, but more of the lessons in teaching some stock trading, day trading type things. Basically, I want to prove to you guys and anybody who finds this channel later in the future, because it's pretty small right now, not a lot of subscribers, they could go back and look at these videos, because basically I want to prove that I can actually make money consistently day trading. Because when I started teaching different strategies and the psychology and all that other stuff, people would take it a lot more serious if they say, okay, this guy actually makes money trading consistently. So obviously what he has to tell you guys, what he has to teach, is it has to be of some value because it works for him. So that's why, at least in these initial stages of the show, I'm just going to vlog, kind of talk about my trades as the streak continues. But here's kind of how the day started. Okay, we're up to about 713, 785 now. First half out in the market, NVIDIA was running strong. I faded that. Same with Palantir, which hit a high of 125, which is crazy. And then, of course, the S&P dumped. I didn't take advantage of that move nearly as much as I should have, but yeah, the account, for being, 30 minutes in, we are at 690. I still got a couple trades open with some Netflix and some NVIDIA and Palantir. So 704 right now. We'll see how the day comes, but it's definitely looking good. All right, 1243.50. Most of the trades are pretty much done, which that's usually the case by 11 o'clock. So you'll see, NVIDIA, by the way, went under 140. Now it's back over. I'll talk about Netflix a lot more because that's a trade that I did good with the day trading, but not my swing trading, and I'll explain why. It's a problem that most traders face. But yeah, overall, man, like I'm kind of hitting these targets of like $1,000 or so. It's 1242.25 right now, about $1,000 a day, which is pretty good. So I believe marks 18 trading days in a row. The market was, of course, closed yesterday, but the streak continues because the bulk of the trading is going to be done now. All right, so you can see where I'm at right now. It's 3:23 p.m., so the market's going to close in about 35 minutes, roughly, Eastern time, of course. At 11:52.50, I got a couple trades open. I got Palantir puts open, 2 contracts, and also a Deer put because they're at all-time highs at 500. I figure we'll get a little bit of a pullback. Right now, I'm down about 60, 70 bucks on that. I'm down. Actually, you know what? The Palantirs came back. No, I'm down 35 bucks on them. But the bulk of the money came from NVIDIA, 402.50 on that, and Palantir before these latest trades I got open. But I was up over $300 on that, $100 on SMCI. Trade desk was flat, 87 on the futures for the S&P 500, 70 bucks on Dutch Brothers, 212 on HIMS. Netflix was more or less a wash. I do want to talk about Netflix, though. So The issue that I had with that, it wasn't the day trading. I'm gonna show you a couple things on the chart here real quick. All right, so here goes Netflix, man. It had an all-time high, well, all-time closing high and all-time high on Friday. Then you could see in the pre-market almost got up to 1070. Okay, so on a different account, more of a swing trading account, I got in a little early when it was like in the 1050s. I thought that would be big resistance, big psychological number. Ran quite against me on Friday, but I figured it's a swing trade. It should pull back a little bit, which it did pull back a lot of bit today. And those puts would have been up huge, by the way. I had a 1040 strike put that expired this week, so not a lot of time because Monday was a holiday, so we had 4 days, right? And then I had a 1030 that expires next Friday. And, that one actually is in the money right now because the stock's at 1026. However, here's what screwed me. And this screws a lot of traders, so take note. Basically, since I was down on it and I was too stubborn to close it Friday, because I figured it would pull back this week, right? Which it did. But see, my problem was I came into the market with the mindset of like, I just kind of want to get my money back from those. Like, I don't even care about making money. Let me flatten out, clear the head, reassess, and maybe find a better entry. That's where my mind was at, right? So basically, when we opened it dropped pretty good initially. So the position was starting to come back. And then you see this wick. These are 5-minute charts. Wicked back from 1050 back up to 1056, 57. So I'm like, I don't like this, man. Like, I'm getting a little bit of my money back. So let me flatten out. Let me close it. And then let me look for the next psychological number because it was already at about 1070 in the pre-market. So I'm like, the market overall looked kind of strong, though. Looking back now, the S&P just, sank since the open. Not a lot, but enough, to put a dent on a lot of other stuff. So anyway, I was just thinking, I got some of my money back. Let me get a re-entry at 1070. Then I'll be comfortable, right? However, I never did get that re-entry, and it just kept going down and down and down and down. And had I been smarter about it, and this is where I actually did benefit a little bit on the day trade, even though I screwed up another one, so I was pretty much more or less flat on it. But I figure 1030 looks good, and we did get a bounce. We did get a bounce here, made a new low, and then, it did get that 10-plus point bounce to 1040. So if I was, paying more attention on the longer-term time frame, like the daily chart, for example, after the earnings, it was kind of just consolidating that 950 to 1,000 range until it finally broke out. And then, it made a high of about 1030 to 1,000. It was playing in that. So you got to figure if it ran past 1030, it should initially get some sort of a bounce at that old high, that psychological number 1030, which it did intraday. So, but this should have basically been my target on the swing trade. But I wasn't in the right mindset. And that's what messes so many traders up because when you're down on a play and if you don't cut it when you should have, you're just basically holding it till you hope you can break even or at least get a little bit back. And a lot of times these things get way further away from you than you think, and that can ruin a lot of people's accounts. I mean, I'm playing options, so they can only go to zero. They can't, like if you were, shorting the stock, I mean, that Netflix could go to 1,200 and wipe you out, right? So at least there's some insurance and security when you're playing options. It's only going to go so much against you, and obviously it's not going to go to zero if they don't expire till the end of next week, and one of them expired at the end of this week. They're not going to go zero in one day. Now, the reason I bring that up, man, these swings. So the one that expired today, I had bought it for like $900. No, not expired today, but expired this Friday, this week. I bought it for like $900, and then, it got down in the fours, which I should have cut it well before that. But it got back up to 610, and I just got out. I'm like, you know what? That's not so bad from the fours. Again, not in the right mindset, and this is how the market messes people up, even people who've been trading forever, So anyway, that option's now like $1,600, so I could have made another 1,000 on top of that, and my initial entry of 900 would have been like 7 points in the money, $700 profit. Instead, I took it like $300 hit. It's $1,000 difference, right? And then the 1030 that expires next week, I basically got out for break even because, again, same mindset. I was down on it. I didn't like it. Let me just get my money back. That one, I got my money back. I didn't take a hit. However, that one, I bought it for about 1,000, sold it for 1,000. It's up to like over $1,800 now. So basically, had I played smarter and targeted my 1030 level, that's an $1,800 difference, which is huge on the swing account that I'm playing. That's huge. So instead of taking a $300 hit, I could have profited $1,500, which is even more than I did in the bigger day trading account. Because the swing trading, I'm just doing options, so you don't even need that big of an account to do that. If you catch good entries and exits, which I caught a shitty entry and a shitty exit. So anyway, that's the market will mess with you, man, because you're just thinking you're like in I hope I break even mode instead of trying to profit at that point. But the thing is, you should never get in that mode, because I should have been more disciplined. Just took my hit like on Friday, got back in fresh right today. Anyway, that's my lesson for the day. And always look at the bigger charts where you could potentially catch a bounce, which you would have at 1030, and that's what I caught earlier. Now this is going to be very interesting to see if we test the 1,000 tomorrow, if this thing keeps dropping. So that's going to be a good place to bounce, tomorrow for a day trade. I mean, depending on how bullish you are on Netflix, you can even try to use that for a swing trade, but you also got to bear in mind you do have this earnings gap, which it shouldn't fade, but if the overall market just takes a hit, it will fade that. And again, that's something that will bounce around that 870 level, like intraday especially that. So I'm definitely going to play that. So, and this is how you set your plays up in the future. This I may not get an opportunity for that for 3 weeks. It could come this week. It could come 3 months from now. But that's why you should plot that on your chart. So even if you're a day trader, knowing that gap, knowing the psychological 1,000, knowing that gap all the way down to like 870, those are good to play intraday for a bounce, and you could get some options, get a quick, move, probably play out in like 10, 15 minutes. Anyway, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm going to be putting out a lot of content, vlogging these trades and videos and sharing my thoughts, and eventually put out a lot more educational type content as the, I think this is pretty educational too, though, but as the channel evolves.